Hey, what's up, y'all? I am your girl Candy, and I'm about to speak on it.
I had already heard.
I can turn a shade tree into a money tree. So, now we are up to episode 6 of season 12, and it's a lot going on, okay? Let's start with, should I start with my family dramas, or should I start with the girls' drama? Can I just say my husband is kind of pissed with me right now because he felt like I didn't take up for him when he watched this episode, okay? He was feeling like, you know, we got him looking like the bad guy or whatever.
Oh, you got a problem with me still?
I don't know what you guys think from watching the show. I hope you don't think he's the bad guy, because he's not the bad guy. I just feel like him and Kayla, they just bump heads sometimes. And I think that's what happens when you have a daughter, especially a daughter that's, you know, coming into adulthood. I mean, she's 23 now, but you know how that is. She wants to do things her way, and he wants her to do things the way he sees she should do it, and they bump heads a lot.
Is that true?
And that's basically what goes on in our household. And with that being said, she talked about how she feels. She says that, you know, he's not, what did she say?
You be unpredictable sometimes.
Unpredictable, I like that. That should be your clothing line, unpredictable.
No.
Not sensitive or something? I don't know. But he ain't sensitive. I mean, I know I could be like that too, you know, whereas like, if you feel like somebody's not doing what they need to be doing, you'd be like, get it together, pull it together. Like, we're not gonna sit there and baby you. That's not the type of parenting we do in this house, especially not Todd, okay? Anyway, the point is, I'm gonna have to talk to you about this more next week, because I think they're gonna talk about it a little bit more on next week's episode. I don't know if Kayla's getting what she needs from him emotionally.
What does he think?
Child, they're not even talking this week.
Oh, wow.
So before I get too deep off into it and Todd is even more mad at me, I think I'm going to ask him to come in and speak on it with me next episode, so he can give y'all some insight on how he feels and, you know, why he parents the way that he parents. Okay, I think that's fair. Okay, that's some of mine. So anyway, on to the girls. Obviously, everybody know we ended last season with the drama between Cynthia and Nene.
I was being a ride or die friend.
I didn't know that Kenya was coming.
Nene said that we were all in an alliance.
Where did that come from?
That is not true. We're not in an alliance.
This is not Big Brother, honey.
No alliances. And it has carried on into this season.
She's definitely weak.
But the problem is, the drama, it's not just drama with Cynthia and Nene. It's drama with Cynthia and Nene, drama with Portia and Nene, drama with damn near everybody. Except for, obviously, Yvonne and Marlo, or Team Nene.
Ooh, hallelujah.
And I guess I'm kind of like the only person that was lightweight neutral in the situation. Even though I don't understand why Nene was so much angrier with Cynthia about Kenya coming to that party last year. At the end of the day, she doesn't care if I'm the one that brought Kenya. She only cares that you
Your girl
had invited
I can't bring her.
or wanted Kenya to be there.
But I can tell you this, she can bring anybody she wants to her events.
Like, I'm not going into that because that was last season. But the point is, clearly she wasn't that mad with me, honey, because she invited me to lunch.
What I was calling for, I want to see if you want to get together for lunch, because I want you to spill all this good tea to me. I know you holding over there.
She just kind of like, you know, was talking about how she felt, and she was just basically saying that, yeah, she did light Cynthia up in her interview, but she felt like, you know, Cynthia had been dogging her in a whole bunch of interviews. And what they did not show is that when Nene and I were sitting there, Nene had pulled out her phone, like she had actually saved a dozen interviews that Cynthia had done that I guess Cynthia had said negative things about her. I didn't really want to watch all them, you know, but I guess she felt like she needed to have proof, because she feels like everybody's always taking Cynthia's side over her. So my whole thing with her that day was like, you know, y'all both talk about each other. You know what I mean? Like, if you say something, that's gonna, you know, push me to say something, and then it's like a back and forth thing that just becomes nonstop.
I feel like with Candy, we see each other and we understand one another.
And that's what I feel like has been happening between the two of them, unfortunately. Okay, y'all might hear my baby crying in the background. I don't know if you can, but You're gonna have to just get over it. Yeah, so Cynthia and Nene, they had just, you know, have this ongoing drama.
You know, honestly,
Okay.
I'm in a great place. I don't care what Cynthia has said. I'm just telling you that she has.
Which is like sad, really, because they really used to be real friends.
Look, at the end of the day, it's petty. She's petty. Like I said, we too old, we too grown. Instead of like, you know, if you want to be friends, be friends. If you don't want to be friends, don't be friends. But this is what is sad. Like, and I'm gonna get serious right now. Go ahead and pour me some wine, child. I'm about to drop something.
And now it's like crazy. But yeah, she has saved all these interviews on her phone, but they didn't show that part. So later on, when you see me talking to Kenya and Cynthia, and they asked me, well, you know, did she show you the video? And I'm like, yeah, nah, I didn't even want to see it, honey. I mean, not the video, but the recording. They was like, did she play you the recording that she supposedly has? Oh, which, let me stop on that. So apparently Nene let me know that somebody that was a mutual friend of the two of them had recorded Cynthia saying some like crazy stuff about her.
Not only that, she spoke to someone else that we both know in common and have talked about me like a dog. And unfortunately for her, they recorded everything you said.
Now, I did not hear the recording myself, but she was very adamant that it existed, right? So my whole thing was like, that's jacked up, because if it's a mutual friend, why are they recording Cynthia? So at that point, I was kind of like weirded out, because I'm like, okay, is this a mutual friend that y'all got that's in this circle, or a mutual friend that's outside of this circle? Because they did have a lot of friends in common that, you know, that wasn't a part of the circle that you guys see on TV every day. So I wasn't sure if it was like one of those other friends, or was it somebody in this circle. So that's why, fast forward, when we went to Marlo's event, the first person I thought to ask was Yvonne.
Okay, wait. Let me ask this question before we go any further. Were you the one that recorded Cynthia?
Yvonne is a mutual friend, so she kind of fit the description between her and Marlo. So I just kind of was like, I'm just gonna ask you. I didn't really know if she had or not, because I mean, I thought that Yvonne was cool, but you know, I don't even know her like that. So I figured, you know, well, let me just go and ask you this question so I can get this out the way, so I know whether or not I could be cool around you or not. Because I mean, yeah, you know, everybody runs back things that people say in the circle. I mean, that's just what happens, and that's part of the show. But if I'm hanging with you off camera and you are recording me, to take that back to somebody and tell, like, that's foul to me. Don't get away from me with that.
Do you think it's on the same level of sharing somebody's text messages?
I definitely think that could be in the same as sharing text messages. And don't be trying to run back to me talking about you shared text messages before. I had to defend my honor, honey. That's why I had shared Portia's text messages. What was that season? However many seasons ago, when she and I was in our big battle.
This is a screenshot of the text.
But I don't believe that you should be going around sharing your text messages. You shouldn't be going around, you know, recording people, doing all that other kind of stuff. I had, you know, at this point in the show, we still have not figured out who this person is, or if a recording actually exists, because it was also questioned like, well, do you think she made that up, or do you know, whatever. And I was like, I don't think Nene would make up that somebody has a recording of Cynthia. So I definitely believed her. I just couldn't figure out who it was, and she did not tell me. So this is the beginning of an ongoing drama for this season. This storyline is gonna be ran on and on and on. This is the beginning of Snakegate. It started in this episode, and you gotta pay attention, because you gotta see how people lie. Like, I cannot do the whole lying straight up to my face stuff. Now let's go on to the funny thing that happened on the show. Let me just say, when Kenya Moore, first of all, I was told Kenya wasn't coming, right? Which I did find it to be odd, because she didn't tell me she wasn't coming. But, you know, I guess I just didn't put two and two together. When somebody else said they talked to her and she said she wasn't coming, I just assumed she wasn't coming. And just like last year at Cynthia's wedding.
Kenya! Kenya! Good night. Give me a hug.
Let me just say, when we heard the drum line, the drum line started coming in the door. I don't think it hit everyone initially what the drum line was. Like, we honestly, I know I did, I honestly thought that this was something that Marlo had coming, you know, that was part of her event. I was thinking, oh, okay, she got a drum line coming in for her event. That's what I was thinking. But as we saw when we turned around and we saw the Kenya Moore posters and Kenya Moore at the door, I think they just took everybody out. Everybody just busted out laughing. Now, mind you, it wasn't funny. Like, it wasn't even cool of us to be laughing, to be honest with you.
You are wrong. This is absolutely insane, okay?
I just feel like Kenya does stuff that's just so over the top. I be like, who comes up with this? Like, who would do that to somebody at their lunch of their business? It's not funny. Don't get me wrong. But it's just the audacity and the nerve of someone to do that. That's what made it funny, I guess, because you just like, Kenya just does not have the button to stop. She just doesn't have a limit. It's just something in her that it's just, I don't know what it is about her that she could just do this stuff and think that it's okay. But in my mind, I think she does it because she knows it's gonna be good TV. But at the same time, like, you gotta understand how much that has to hurt somebody that has spent their own money to put together an event for their, you know, business lunch. Now, mind you, I know y'all be thinking, oh, it's TV, oh, it's fake, oh, no. They do not give us money to put on our business lunches when we have events for our businesses and stuff like that. If anybody got sponsors or whatever, they have to do that on their own. The stuff I be doing on the show, I pay for it out of my own pocket. So that's our own hard-earned money that we put into promoting our business or whatever it is we decide to do on the show. I can only imagine what Marlo was thinking and feeling. I think it's like a catch-22 for Marlo, because it's like, on one hand, you know, you saw she was trying to be nice about it at first. And I think she always has this thing in her mind, like, people have seen her, you know, be in violent situations. So people, you know, if she would have reacted in a violent way, which some people would have. Some people are like, oh, I'm gonna whoop this bitch ass. You think you're gonna come up to my event and do this? Because, you know, that's the natural thought for some of us. Some people would have reacted that way. Marlo didn't, and at the same time, she can't. People already want to put her in that light. And that's something that she's definitely trying to get away from. So I think she genuinely this season was trying to do things differently. Now, don't get me wrong, she's definitely going to be in the midst of drama this year, for sure. I think her intention this season was to do things differently. And also, her nephews were at the party. So I don't know if you guys have, you know, been watching the whole time, but Marlo now has custody of her nephews. So she's the role model for them. She's the provider for them. And this is her first time ever as a friend of the show. She got to have an event of her own on the show, which I don't think y'all realize how big that is, because a lot of times, you know, quote unquote friends of the show, they don't really get to show you anything from their personal life. They don't really have their own personal events or whatever that's focused on them. So for her to have this moment, and then here comes my girl. Shit, this is my girl. Here comes my girl, Kenya Moore.
Kenya Moore hair care.
With her drum line. I can only imagine what Marlo was thinking. But, you know, Marlo tried to be calm at first. And then I think she really started getting annoyed because Kenya went to the back. So I went to the back, you know, to speak to Kenya or whatever. And they're like, basically like, why would you do that to that girl, you know? But then when I came back then, shortly thereafter, Portia came back to the back, and I think Cynthia came back to the back. So then Marlo started feeling like, okay, now this bitch just taking all of my guests, all the main guests is going back there to cater to her when she's the one who's tearing up my event. So I think that's what kind of like really sent Marlo through the roof, where she was really like, okay, y'all gotta get out. You gotta go, and blah, 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 blah. You know, she was very angry. Okay, let's just say that. And I think she was hurt. You know, it's just, it was a tough situation, because you know how you can be friends with a person, but then you know they did wrong. That's the position I was in at that moment. We should at least respect each other's businesses, if nothing else. I don't have to like certain women on the show to, you know, at least respect their business. You know, I don't want to tear down their businesses. I don't want them tearing down mine. Because the way I look at it is okay, we're on this show together, right? On the show, we're kind of like forced to deal with each other, right? Because even if you don't necessarily like a person in real life, you may not necessarily have to talk to them. But if you're on a show together and you don't like them, you're still gonna have to interact with them. Let's keep the show on the show, but my business that exists off the show. So if this show ends today, my business is still going on. I don't need you tearing that down. And that's just the way I look at that. So the other thing about this, it was also Nene's first time really being around all the girls except for Eva, because Eva did not even show up. Nene came to the event. Kenya even gave Nene a goodie bag. And nicely, they spoke to each other. I don't remember if they showed that or not. Nene was trying to be friendly to everyone or whatever. And everybody was basically being cordial except for Portia. Portia just kind of gave her the swerve.
Hi, did you put on a wig?
Portia just kind of like avoided Nene or whatever. Honestly, for this to be Nene's big reintroduction back into the group this season, it kind of went unnoticed. Everybody was so caught up into Kenya, and Kenya,
Oh God.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
you know, doing all this stuff. Like, for real, we didn't even realize she had left.
Girl, you done
I
had
just
too
don't
many
want it to
drinks.
be
Bye.
about Kenya. I want it to be about Marlo.
When she had walked out, the only person that really even knew or noticed that she left was Giovanna.
Where's Nene?
She just left. I just tried to talk. She just pulled the up. I need it.
The rest of us was so caught up in this Marlo and Kenya drama, we was not even paying any attention. I don't know how that must have felt from Nene's perspective, because I mean, she probably thought that she was gonna be caught up in some drama, because you know how that go. You know, if this is your first time being around people you don't get along with, you know, she probably was prepared for whatever. Literally nothing happened. Not at this point, anyway. It is gonna get there, but not at this point. At this point, I would just have to say, I need you guys to be paying attention and taking notes. So I did speak to Nene, and she said that she would definitely come and speak on it before the season is over with. So I'm looking forward to that. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out when the best time, because I wanted her to come on an episode where you guys really will have a lot of questions and really want to hear her opinion. And I thought this week would have been good, but actually maybe it was better she didn't come this week.
Bitch, 2 people. 2.
We're gonna wait till some more stuff happens, and then we'll have her come and speak on it. And if you have any other questions from any of the other girls, just let me know, and I'll try to get them here, or I'll ask them and bring their answers to you. Well, thank you for watching. Speak on it. I had already heard. I can turn a shade tree into a money tree. Why do I do that? I don't know. Thanks for watching Speak On It.